So last video we looked at the battle for Raz. Now we're gonna be looking at the battle of Ajnadayn. I can't say that, guys. So point is, we're gonna be looking at this battle now. So again, Khalid, man, just a G, and he is just owning the Sassanids and even out the Romans. Like, it's insane.
About to attack deeper into Persian territory, but he soon after received a letter from the Caliph Abu Bakr at the Rashidun capital of Medina. The letter ordered him to cease his attacks on the Sassanids and to move into Syria to battle the Romans. So Khalid and
holy crap! Like, Khalid is just owning the freaking Sassanids. He literally has an opening towards Ctesiphon, the capital. Granted, he won't go there because of the supply line issue, but the fact that the Sassanids are that vulnerable is insane. But it seems like, well, now he has to fight the Romans. I was about to say, maybe he should just focus on the one target, because he can just keep owning the Sassanids. But the thing is, the Romans are already, like in the Battle for Oz, have already gotten involved in a sense. And so now he needs to weaken them and soften them up, right? Just because he doesn't want them to getting too strong or consolidating their own strength. So that makes sense. Like, that makes sense. Now he needs to, like, weaken the Romans as he's done to the Sassanids. But dude, let's not overlook what is happening. Like I said, the Muslims are still, like, they're still pretty young, you know what I mean? Like, they just made their debut on the world stage as a power, and they're already going toe-to-toe with both the Sassanids and the Romans, and basically now fighting two of the great powers of the world. Granted, they're a bit weakened, as we established in the beginning, but still impressive. And Khalid is just fighting two of these great powers. He's had nothing but success with the Sassanids. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does against the Romans.
a small contingent of his army prepared to move west. As with the Mesopotamian invasions, there had probably been no better opportunity for a strike into Roman lands, as the destructive quarter-century-long conflict from 602 to 628 had undermined crucial defences in both regions. The Roman East, with all its religious, cultural, financial and strategic significance, was now dangerously vulnerable. During 633, the Muslims sent 4 separate corps to invade Palestine, in addition to the areas around the Sea of Galilee, the River Jordan and the Dead Sea. Though they achieved success, assaults on the large urban settlements of the region could not be considered until reinforcements were brought up. So, both for the additional troops and for Khalid's expertise in warfare, Abu Bakr sent the order for him to move west. To save time and to bypass Roman defences, the Muslim general chose a more dangerous route through an especially desolate, waterless stretch of the Syrian desert, much to the alarm of his sub-commanders. In order to survive, it is reported that Khalid, in his ingenuitive way, ordered 20 camels be forced to drink large amounts of water so that they could be used as makeshift storage tanks. The beasts were then periodically slaughtered along the journey when nourishment was needed, and the water was then harvested from the camels.
That is so freaking creative. I've never heard of any army doing that. That is genius. Again, Khalid, all this genius, where did it come from? He's just that gifted. And again, he's doing things that the enemy wouldn't expect. We need to get through a desert. Freaking, again, big brain creative solutions here. Holy crap, dude. This is amazing.
After 5 grueling days of marching through this desolate landscape, the 9,000-strong Muslim army emerged at Suwa. Then they swiftly inflicted a minor defeat on the Roman Arab clients, the Ghassanids, at Marj al-Rahit, while they were celebrating Easter.
Oh.
It isn't flashy.
His strategy correct, Khalid's improbable desert crossing had also neutralized the Byzantine defenses on the Arabian border.
Wow.
Now he turned south, towards the Syrian town of Bosra, where the arrival of his reinforcements led to its capture by mid-July of 634. Despite this success, the Muslims had little time to celebrate. Roman Emperor Heraclius, who was now in Emesa, sent his brother Theodore and an Armenian general named Wardan south towards Ajnadayn, 25 miles southeast of Jerusalem, where they began to gather a large army. Spies reported this gathering force to the invaders, and the burgeoning Caliphate's army marched to meet their Byzantine opponents.
Okay, so the Emperor Heraclius is now... he's involved. He seems to be more hands-on. His brother's there, and they're moving to just fight him. Man, if Khalid wins this encounter, that's a huge blow to the Romans right there, man.
Very few hard facts are known about this battle, but we can reconstruct a version of the fight using the available sources. Muslim accounts vastly exaggerate the number of Roman troops they faced, and it is likely even that the weakened Byzantine forces in Syria, 10,000 strong and commanded by Wardan and Theodore, were outnumbered by the 15,000 Muslims. Both armies formed up in extended lines, with their camps to the rear, and both sides stood ready with 3 divisions of infantry, right, left, and centre, while each wing had a cavalry flank guard. Behind the Muslim centre was a small reserve, and in front of their centre was a small group of champions. Before the battle began, a Christian bishop rode over to Khalid's army and attempted to negotiate a Muslim withdrawal. However, the Rashidun general simply responded by offering the traditional choice: conversion to Islam, payment of the jizya tax, or death in battle.
Yeah, there's no negotiating with the Muslims. When they first came onto the scene, they basically commanded everyone, the Sassanids and Byzantines, to convert. This is a religious, journey. This is a mission for them. This is a holy zeal type of situation. There's no negotiating when it comes to that, I find. And yeah, again, just huge. There's no negotiating. These guys are gonna fight, and you're gonna convert or die. Man.
The fighting at Ajnadayn began when the Byzantine auxiliary missile units, stationed ahead of the main line, began to rain arrows and stones on their adversaries. As the superior Byzantine ranged units loosed, the Muslims suffered losses and were unable to respond. However, one Muslim warrior named Dirar, heavily armoured and brandishing a heavy shield, stolen from a Roman soldier, marched directly into the arrow fire, shouting his war cry. After the hail of missiles ceased, Dirar and his entourage of fellow champions were met by their Byzantine counterparts, and it is said the Muslims got the better of the fighting, slaying several Roman elite warriors and 2 generals.
Holy crap, these duels, man. The Muslims so far have not been losing any of these champion duels. They've been killing commanders. They murdered so many Sassanid commanders, and now they're doing the same to the Romans. And that was such a pretty baller moment. Just marching into the fire. Man, just these acts of heroism are insane.
As the dueling came to an end, the Rashidun army attacked, and the subsequent fighting was a slogging match with little maneuver, and lasted until nightfall. The next day, Byzantine commander Wardan attempted to lure Khalid into a trap by offering a parley, but the plan went wrong and he was instead killed by the fearsome Dirar.
Dude, this Dirar guy is just like a freaking berserker. He's just killing everyone. He's not afraid of anything. Holy crap, dude. they're just killing enemy commanders so easily. Like, in this series more than any other, like, the amount of commanders and generals that the Muslims are just killing is insane.
Aiming to exploit the confusion which this loss of leadership caused in the...
Well, I want to hear, which commander did he kill again?
to lure Khalid to fall. The next day, Byzantine commander Wardan attempted to lure Khalid into a trap.
That was the
by
brother
offering
for a second. I think
parley,
that would have been
but the plan
insane.
went wrong, and he was instead killed by the fearsome Dirah.
Durrell, man. Durrell might be the MVP of this video. Durrell, I'm giving you the MVP award because he's just going for it.
Exploit the confusion which this loss of leadership caused in the Roman ranks. The Arabs attacked again, with their flanks in front and centre behind. After savage hand-to-hand fighting, which exhausted and depleted both armies, Khalid deployed his 4,000-strong reserve in the centre and drove deep wedges through the Roman formations in this area. Unable to withstand the pressure any further, their line collapsed.
Another spectacular victory from Khalid. Managed to kill multiple Roman commanders/generals. Walid is... Wait, no, sorry. But point is, just insane. Holy crap, now even the Romans are being, like, completely thrashed by the Muslims, man.
After this defeat, Emperor Heraclius sent his brother Theodore back to Constantinople.
So I think I should end the video here, because I always end after the battles. But, well, I guess tomorrow we're going to be looking at the Siege of Damascus, eh? And I'll see you then, everyone. Goodbye.